In the first half of the semester, I noticed that Native American theological perspectives are actually pretty similar to Christianity in some aspects. In a previous class, World Religions, we studied religions such as Confucianism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam. However, we did not touch on Native American spirituality. The method of picking up these characteristics was also different, for we did not study bullet points, highlights from a religious text, or read somebody else's analysis. Other than these methods, it was just reading the literature and subtly picking up on the religious aspects of these pieces through what I was reading. I have a pre-existing interest in religion, and I grew up in a Christian household, so when I learn about different belief systems, I have Christianity as a point of reference to compare and contrast. The first comparison I made was with the Navajo creation story. Similar to Christianity, both beliefs have a fundamental explanation for why females and males are different than each other, and why we must get along. In the Navajo creation, females and males separate themselves because of differences, but soon realize that they cannot produce a functional society without each other. In Christian theology, it is explained that both males and females were created as a complement to each other, and also had a brief conflict, for they both disobeyed God, and subsequently also ended up as an eternal complement of each other. While the narratives of these stories are different, they both teach us the same lesson. And while these stories are technically geared towards couples, they can be interpreted as we must work together as a society regardless of gender. Both perspectives are important and valuable. In the Lenape war song, it states, "O poor creature, whose life is not in his own hands, who has no power over his own body, but tries to do his duty for the welfare of his nation. O thou great spirit above, take pity on my children and on my wife." Anne Bradstreet, in her writing, Verses upon the Burning of Our House, witnesses her house burned to the ground, and she is very upset for all of her material objects are destroyed. Aside from being upset about her possessions, she still sees the occurrence as being of God. She states, "It was his own, it was not mine, far be it that I should repine." Both writings exhibit traits of a supreme will, either by the Great Spirit or by God. And while not returning from battle or having your house destroyed is unwanted, both stories show signs that it's ultimately not really up to them. In reply to missionary Jacob Cram, Sogoiwatha, a Native American who did not want to be forced into Christianity, says, "It was the will of the Great Spirit that we should meet together this day." He also says, "For these favors we thank the Great Spirit and Him only." With the concept of God and the Great Spirit, and Sagoiwatha thanking Him only, it has a hint of monotheism, just like the Christian God. A being that is supremely responsible for absolutely everything, including being the prime mover of the creation of the earth. In the Iroquois creation story, there's the good mind and the bad mind. The good mind represents the righteous parts of life, and the bad mind is responsible for pain and dysfunction. In comparison to Christian theology, the good mind can represent what is said to be God, and the bad mind is similar to the devil. Also, in comparing the characteristics of the good mind and God, both began wanting to add light to complete darkness, so they both created the sun. They both also created the stars in the sky. Both creators also created what was said to be a firmament, which is basically a dome over the earth where the sun and stars are placed within. Another theme exhibited by both creation stories is the fact that either the good mind or the bad mind, or God and the devil, have an ongoing battle between mankind's hearts. Both narratives are different, but also hold a fundamental theme, that there are two entities that are both responsible for what is right and wrong in the world. In conclusion, what I discovered through our readings is that the fundamental beliefs of both Native American spirituality and Christianity are not exactly polar opposites. The narratives are different, but many of the underlying themes and lessons hold the same teachings. Also, understanding the religious aspect of the people in early American literature can give us a better understanding of who these people were, what their thought process was, and what they cared about.